What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I dropped some content. I've been really busy just trying to get the Z done and just doing a lot of wrenching, and it's hard to record and wrench at the same time. I ended up bringing the 350 back to my apartment over here to finish it up. It's no longer in the garage. So in the past couple weeks, I've actually started to button up the engine, started running the vacuum lines and stuff for all my wastegate, boost gauge. Finished up cleaning up the throttle cable, just a couple odds and ends. Doing some wiring right now. So today I figured I don't really have that much left to do on the car. I did end up picking up, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So I just picked up from Chase Bays this, if it'll focus. Come on. I picked up this clutch line. It's not focusing, I don't know why. So the clutch line I have on there right now is from Z-Speed, when I did the C-Mac delete kit on my HR Trans, and it ended up not being long enough from the slave cylinder to bolt onto the tranny. Let's see if I can get a... Nah, you guys are gonna have to wait till I go into the car. So today we're just gonna throw this on, and this line actually goes from your slave cylinder, gets rid of this hard, oh sorry, wrong one. Where are we? Gets rid of, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of tight in there. That hard line right there, the end of my finger. So what it does is it gets rid of that. This line runs all the way into your wheel well and comes out right there, runs all the way down the driver wheel well into that junction and down to the slave cylinder, which is right there, just hanging out. So today we're gonna rip that thing out because it does not allow me to bolt my slave cylinder up to my tranny with the JZ in. Since the JZ is longer, it pushes everything further back and the line is not long enough. So let's get to it. All right, so as you guys can see that I mentioned in my previous videos, since I have the HR transmission with the internal slave cylinder, probably about 4 years back now, back in 2018, I did the internal slave delete from Z-Speed, which lets you run a external slave cylinder with a clutch line. So I'm gonna have to unbolt this banjo right here, this banjo bolt, and then we'll go back up to the bulkhead and undo the clutch line from the hard line. So stand by. All right, just got the slave off. Let the line drain for a little bit. We'll undo the hard line. All right, guys, so I started undoing the hard line. Sorry for the quality of footage down here, it's really tight. Let's see if I can get the angle of my wrench. All right, so you see the hard line right here where my wrench is on. That's a 10mm flare. You're just gonna undo that, and then this will separate from the hard line because there's no clip here with this aftermarket line. All right, so the metal line is off. Now the only thing holding it on is this clip, which was put on 4 years ago now, so it should be fun to get off. Let's take a pair of needle nose. Maybe you'll get luckier than me. Oh yeah, I can already tell this thing's gonna be fun to get off. This thing does not want to move. Oh. Oh, look at that. I don't know how I just did that one shot. So then once that clip is off, the hard line and the clutch line will separate. Boom! Put that thing in the bucket. Alright, so now we'll be able to rip the rest of this out back up top and put the Chase Bays one in. Alright, so now we're back in the driver's side front fender well, and it looks like we got a 10mm holding that bracket on, and a couple 10mm holding this bracket on, which leads back up into the engine bay area to the master for the clutch. So we'll take those off real quick. One. Then you got these two nuts right here. These things are corroded, huh? Man. That's now looks like I gotta go back up the engine bay over here after we get this off. Kind of spread those white tabs open while you pry the line out. Now let's see what we got going on up in the engine bay over here. Now it looks like the only thing holding it on is that one line down there going back to the master, so we'll get that off right now. Alright, so just got the line off, and if you follow it right here through this little hole, I actually ended up undoing this top line from this junction. Made it a lot easier to wiggle the lines around, because if you have these on together, you can't turn it to get this lower one up the subframe. So you just wiggle this around, twist this a little bit, and that junk's out of there. And now we got this top one going back up into the master. This one's a little bit more of a pain because it's all bent to go down to the master cylinder. But we got it. So now that top line is out. Junk. Look at all this weight reduction, bro. All right. So now we go over here. We got our nice cheese bays in. And we'll throw this on. All right, so got that top banjo bolt in, going to our master, and then the line, so you can see it. I'll try and shake it around. See my fingers? The line just goes through that stock hole, runs down, probably get some band clamps to utilize these stock studs to hold this in place. Runs down up under this front engine cross member, and then bolts right up to your aftermarket external slave cylinder. It's pretty plug and play, to be honest. It's awesome. So now you'll have a functioning clutch pedal with your JZ and your 350Z. Want to give a big shout out to Chase Bays. Always hooking it up with the parts. I got a lot of stuff from them for this build. I want to say pretty much everything for, let's see, I got my power steering kit from them, their coolant reservoir, I got quite a bit from them, their power steering pump adapter, their fuel pressure regulator bracket, so the clutch line obviously, so definitely check them out. I mean, Chase Bays has really come a long way in the past couple of years. They're coming out with more and more stuff, with all these new swaps coming out for new chassis. So now that I got the clutch line all pretty much run, I'm gonna bolt up this master back in place over here. Make sure all those banjo bolts are tight, double check them, and then we'll bleed the clutch.